before they then attack the peaceful demonstrators and set the precedent nationwide to no longer even allow peaceful demonstrations and to have Darth Vader festooned, garbed police attack the general population of peaceful protesters. And that's all this is here. What we suspected is now coming out. Even the BBC is admitting that police were ordered 4 nights ago to stand down in South London, where all of this began. We now have the reports that the rioters all over the country, all over what is England, within the UK, that region, are being directed and promised payments if they will riot by men claiming to be part of the media, probably police operative provocateurs. We've also seen this go on in Greece as well. Going back 2 years ago, their national news documented it was police rioting and starting the riots. And then we also documented that, 3 years ago, national news had to admit it later in Canada, that the Royal Mounted Police did dress up like anarchists and begin breaking and smashing and stealing so they could then have the police attack the peaceful crowds protesting the North American Union meeting. So what they've done is they've primed the pump. They have provocateured the first events, and then the larger hooligan mass rushes in to expand the crisis. And then David Cameron's not in trouble for the News Corps hacking gate anymore and the mysterious deaths. David Cameron can move forward now with tax increases to satiate the welfare zombie mobs. This is a standard operating procedure, and I'm going to be going over it. But as for the individuals that are doing this, as for the general mobs, some of it at the beginning was racially motivated. And I guess you could say in a way that's political. But from the hundreds of emails and comments I've gotten from reporters that live in the area that we've talked to on air, from Steve Watson, who lives in London, from Paul Watson, north of London, this is purely in the second, third, and fourth day, groups of hooligans, the folks that like to go get drunk and get in fights at soccer games as part of their tribalism outlet, black, white, you name it, who are engaging in pure looting. In fact, I saw one report of an entire business district, shop district, burned, leveled, and looted, except for a bookstore. The looters had no interest in that. Electronic stores, liquor stores, pawn shops, furniture stores, anything of value looted and stolen. And then you have the so-called left saying this is the beginning of the Stalinistic uprising against the bourgeoisie and then the ruling class. Absolutely ridiculous. You have the rise of hooliganism in South Africa. You have the rise of it in Brazil. You have the rise of it in Los Angeles, in New York, in Chicago. You do not have the rise of it in Dallas, because if you try to pull people out of their cars in Dallas, and it's happened a few times, in these hooligan riots, you are shot dead. Let me tell you something. A police officer has citizens arrest power. That's why citizens have citizen arrest power. Counties and cities get together and then elect a sheriff or elect a mayor who creates a police force of men and women that have citizens arrest power. You try to pull me out of my car and beat me up or kill me or rape my wife, I'm going to kill you. And that is under common law, thousands of years old. And so you notice you don't have these type of things going on in Dallas, Texas. You don't have this type of stuff going on in Phoenix, Arizona. You don't have this type of stuff going on because when you start burning buildings down, that is an act of arson in action. You are committing acts that could and probably will kill people. And if I catch people trying to burn my house or my neighbor's house, I'm going to put a bead on you and I'm going to unload into you and your cohorts. Understand that. The globalists want law and order to break down so they can come in after the looting rages for weeks or even months as has been done in many other countries as part of the IMF World Bank plan that was leaked in 2002 that we've covered so much. They call it the IMF riot. And after it's run its course, the country's confidence is destroyed. The stocks are destroyed. The nation is in trouble, and the big offshore banks come in and take even more control. Even more control. And so where do you see these riots taking place? You see them taking place in social engineering, multicultural, globalist-run warrens of modern ninny states. The first thing they do in a disarmed ninny state is disarm the public. Once that happens, they double or triple the police force. You go to New York, there's cops every 10 feet. They're not there to help you. They look like something out of a movie of a cartoon-style police state, third world thug. They're shaking people down. They're engaging in crimes. They leave the basic criminals alone. But if they see mainline productive citizens, they set upon you and feed on you. So first they disarm you. Then they double or triple the police. Then they come in with massive taxes and destroy the middle class and invite welfare pimps in from all over the country, as Mayor Bloomberg does. Once they've got that in place, anytime the public doesn't do exactly what the ruling class wants, they just turn the welfare mobs loose. They can rape, they can steal, they can do whatever they want. And if it just so happens to be a, quote, minority, who's really the majority in this country now in almost every area, if they happen to assault the devil Whitey, who's been singled out as the devil and is open season, if you fight back, you are charged with hate crimes. And then no one debates the fact that you were defending yourself. You were hauled up before a special Soviet court, a special commissar court, and you were sent to prison. And this is going to be the model of class war, race war, government directed. Now, as things continue to collapse, as the rural communities collapse, they're going to bring in the Homeland Security Defense Department run rural councils with your own little Soviet commissars over you. Tattletale squads, TSA checkpoints on the highways, home inspections of law-abiding citizens, while the criminals are allowed to rule and dominate. I see what looks like recent model trucks every day when I drive to work of people trying to build roads and haul aggregates and deliver things. And I see the truck police pulling them over and harassing them and going over every inch of their truck. But I can drive 5 miles from here and buy crack cocaine right now. You can go buy it right now, and the police won't do anything to stop it. America is run by criminals. At the top, they feed on us. At the bottom, they feed on us. The ultra-elite have created absolutely domesticated, spoiled brat, third, fourth, fifth generation welfare heads who love their prison gangster culture, and they are the army of the New World Order.